Let's look at how to set up phpExpertSystem in order to create our own expert systems. So in Dreamweaver, go to Site and then New Site. And this first option is site name. We're just going to put PES for phpExpertSystem. And local site folder is where you're going to store the files for your website. I'm actually going to call my site name PES2 just because I already have a PES site already. And I'm going to put PES2 for my local site folder. So that folder can be anywhere in your IT directory where you're storing your other files, but you just want to put in a new folder name there to store your website. And then go to Servers and click on this plus icon. And we want to change server name to localhost. Connect using, change that to local/network. Server folder. Now this is the folder, the examp server folder. On Windows, it's C drive, examp, htdocs. Within this folder, you want to create a new folder called PES. I've actually already got that. So I'm going to create a new folder called PES2. And you can do the same, just create a folder just called PES, not PES2. Now I'm going to select PES2, select folder, and that's going to be where I store the website running on my server. Web URL is going to be localhost/PES/. Just make sure you put in the forward slashes and you type this in correctly here. And then go to the Advanced tab and click on Server Model and click phpMySQL and then save. Now on this screen, after you just created the server, you want to untick Remote and click Testing instead. And I'm just going to quickly go through my settings again so you can see. Localhost, local network, server folder is where we store the files for examp. There's a web URL. On the Advanced tab, we've got down here phpMySQL. And just quickly looking at our site again, site name PES2, but you would just have PES. And here I'm going to put PES2 as well. Then you can click Save. In this Files window over here, this is where my site is. A quick trick to find out where your site is actually stored is to just hover your mouse over here and it will give you the location. You can see it there. C drive users, Paula, Google Drive, etc. And if you want to open that folder in Explorer, just right click here and go to Explore. And that opens the folder in Windows Explorer. Now, I want to copy the zip file from Blackboard containing phpExpertSystem into this particular folder, which is going to be used by my website. So I'll just find the zip file and phpExpertSystem zip, and I'll just extract that. I've actually already done it, so you can right click and go extract all and just extract. I've actually already got it, so that's why I'm getting this message. You won't get this. And now it's extracted. So I want to go into phpExpertSystem, and I'll just close this one. So in the extracted folder, I'm going to select all these files, Control C, go back to the folder for my Dreamweaver website and paste those in. And there and there. So if I go back to Dreamweaver now and I refresh, I can see these files that I just copied are there now. The next step is to go to examp and start the servers. You would have to go in and click Start next to Apache and MySQL to have a server running. Now we're going to go to phpMyAdmin. So I'm going to my web browser. I'm going to type in localhost/phpMyAdmin. And in here, I'm going to create a database called PES. I've actually already got one from before. So I'm just going to call it PES2, but you just call yours PES. So click on New, and I'm going to put PES2. You just put PES, create, and I have my PES2 database here now. And now I'm going to click on this Import tab. And just under this File to Import, I'm clicking Choose a File. And I'm going to click, I'm going to find the file that was in that extracted folder from phpExpertSystem. This is the folder. These are all the files I copied to my website folder. And I'm just going to go into this SQL subfolder and find this one first, Rule Table Schema. And I'm just going to note the location, so I'll get that. And I'm going to import both of these files, but one at a time. So the first one is Rule Table Schema. So I'll just copy that. Rule Table Schema, open. And then just accept everything else and just click Go. And that's worked. You'll see a green tick there. Go back to Import, and we're going to import the other SQL file. Sample test rules. Then open. And then go. Okay, we're going to go back to Dreamweaver now. We've imported those two SQL files. Going back to Dreamweaver, and we need to go to config.php. And this is where we set the database access settings for phpExpertSystem. And we have to change the defaults here to these values. DB name, I called mine PES2. But yours will just be PES, and root is our username. By the way, you shouldn't do this in real life or in commercial applications. I've got a blank password. Okay, so you wouldn't do that in industry. It's just for our testing purposes. And just save that now. Make sure it's saved. And then go back to your website. And over here, you've got this icon, very similar to the refresh one, but it's got slightly different arrows. And just want to click on this one. It says synchronize with testing server, localhost. So click on that. And then you have to preview. And you'll get this dialog box come up. And it's saying put. So put means it's going to copy these files from your website, where you're storing this website in this location here. It's going to copy these files to your XAMPP server folder. So click OK to that. And that's done now. So we're going to go to our browser and localhost. So it's going to be, if you've set it up correctly, localhost/PES. And the first file we're going to look at is sample-basic.php. Just open that one. Okay, so you should see that output. That's the simple example that comes with phpExpertSystem. Now, if you want to have a look at the documentation for that example, it is, I'll just open it in a new tab. That's the location there, deadschool.com, phpExpertSystem/user-guide. And this is a user guide that comes with phpExpertSystem, and you can read about this sample here. Now we're going to look at some more advanced examples later.